Welcome to Fred Talks.
So, big ideas. A sermon must have one big idea. But how do we know if we have a great idea or a big idea? Sometimes we think we have a big idea, but we really have a fragment of an idea. Well, here's the key. A big idea has two parts. You got to have these two parts, and the first part we call the subject. Now, if English is not your first language, let me say it this way. Think of the subject as a question. So your subject is always going to be stated as a question. So let me give you an example of a poor subject. A poor subject would be faith. Now, why is that a poor subject? Because it's too big, it's too broad. I can't say everything there is to say about faith in one sermon, right? So I need to narrow my subject. So let me say, for example, my subject is, what does faith look like? What is justification by faith? Now, the passage I'm thinking of is Romans chapter 5. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God. The whole passage is talking about justification by faith. So, let me just track with you now what we've said. So, subject, faith, no good. Subject, what is justification by faith? It's better, it's narrower, it's in the form of a question, but it's still a little bit broad. So let me go a little bit more. What are the benefits of justification by faith? Now that is a good subject. Let me just repeat it again. My subject is faith, no good. My subject is justification by faith, no good. It's not a question yet. And it's still broad. Thirdly, what are the benefits of justification by faith? Much, much better. And that subject, I didn't invent it. I simply discovered it in Romans chapter 5. That's a great subject. So, let me recap now. A subject can never be a single word. Secondly, it's always in the form of a question. Thirdly, it rises from the biblical text. And then fourthly, it requires an answer to the subject or a complement. Then when you put the question and the answer together, or the subject and the complement together into one sentence, now you have an idea. In the next segment, I'll talk about the subject and how we find the subject. Thanks for watching.